Well, I just, as soon as I was able to legally drink, I stopped drinking Mickey's Ice and all the assorted Keystone beverages, and started going to my local Grant's Brewery pub, and from there just developed a love for beer.
Yeah, I started brewing, gosh, what year would it have been? Probably around 88, 89, just as a home brewer. I started brewing in my fraternity over at Washington State, first of all.
I've done some homemade beers, some homemade wines. Had a gentleman over the back fence of my house when I was growing up as a kid. Had me come over and squish grapes with him when I was 14 years old. I'm a cook by trade. Unlike a lot of breweries that I've been to, a lot of breweries are a brewery that makes food. We are a full-service restaurant that just happens to serve the best beer in town.
About 15 years ago, I showed up at the microbrewery tasting room, and two guys had started this place, and I didn't know much about commercial brewing, knew I liked beer, knew it was in my blood, so I had to do something about it. And I sort of learned their system and how things went along, and one guy dropped out and I bought his shares, and the other one had a lot of things going on, and I ended up buying out his shares, and we decided after doing that, we'd, like I say, take the plunge, open up a brew pub, and take it to the next level and see if we could become successful.
One of the unique things about our beers, and Dottie in particular right now, and this is going to be the same way for probably our first 3 or 4 beers, our session series of lagers, is that they're made with all Washington ingredients. They're made with Yakima hops, they're made with grains from the southeastern part of the state. Why would we go anywhere else for our ingredients? We live in one of the best growing regions in the country, and people from all over the country come here to get their ingredients. And I feel like that's something that, especially up here in Seattle, people very much look for, they very much want. They want to support local business, and if we can be that local business and not only have them support us, but through us have them supporting the farmers of Washington State and everything that goes into that, you know, I think people will really get behind that.
So our being in the place where the hop is grown in North America, and really the focus of hop in the world today, is important. We get to see hop earlier than most. We get to participate in some of the botanical selection of hop. We know all the people involved in all the business and all the agriculture side of it. That being said, hop is only a small part of the beer making process, so you have to put it in perspective. But for those of us who are brewers, one thing you eventually develop in terms of palate as a brewer is more hop, more hop, more hop. You just can't ever stop having enough. And so being here is great because we can't stop having hop at all.
It's a very special beer in the sense that it is just about 100% Washington. The malts are Washington Select malts that come from the Palouse, and the hops are quite literally grown right here in Prosser. One of the hops is very special. It's a Calypso hop, brand new hop, not totally on the market yet. Only a few breweries have gotten it. And then the feature hop is Delta, which is grown right up just about 5, 6, 7 miles away in Grandview. All Washington, Delta.
What's beautiful about a tasting room is it's more relaxed, it's chill, it only really showcases our products. People come, there's a lot of beer tourism in the state, and so people will come on buses and vans, they'll tour up from other states and hang out and say, hey, do you got a sample tray? And this is the one place where they can get more than one of our beers at any given time. We have 12 beers on tap, and so our taster tray has 6, so quite often people will come in and say, oh, I'll just get 2 taster trays. And they sit down and have every single one of our beers, and it's really accessible for them to come in and go, okay, this is what this brewery is about. They can usually talk to me or one of the brewers and find out who made the beer, what's in the beer, what's the alcohol, where the ingredients come from, and we're kind of the best source of knowledge for how the beer is made.
Yeah, these old dairy tanks here, I guess they've probably been used in the Yakima Valley, making, or you know, for processing milk, and then we gave them a second life in our brewery. And I think these tanks are probably 40 or 50 years old, and we put them into good use again. And
over here in Eastern Washington, where we have a few less breweries as in the Seattle area, but at the same time, we tend to work together over here in different things. So that compared to any other type of business, I think is one of the really cool things about the whole craft industry.
So, you know, this is our brewery, our original brewery, our current brewery, a bunch of tanks that we make beer with, but at the end of the day, this is really, we're doing the same thing that any other brewery is doing. We're doing the same thing that home brewers do at home. You know, we're just making beer. We don't do any fancy stuff with preservatives or stabilizing agents to enhance shelf life and stuff like that. You know, at Georgetown Brewing Company and at most of the breweries around the state, you really have guys making homebrew just on a large scale, and it's good, fresh beer. So that's what we do. That's what we're all about.